So hello everyone and welcome to our third lesson from P101 online course. My name is Mario and today we're going to work with some grammar and culture aspects of Brazilian Portuguese language. So let's start today our works with a very important topic, that is the verb to be. So the verb to be is quite interesting in Portuguese because we would have two translations for it. So the first translation would be the verb ser, and the second one would be the verb estar. So I think it's important to notice that this change in meaning is because the verb ser is used for conditions or characteristics that are permanent. On the other hand, the verb estar is used for transitory or not permanent conditions or characteristics. In that sense, we need to understand the meaning that we want to give this sentence, so we can choose the verb ser or the verb estar. In that sense, for example, let's get this simple sentence here. So, if we say Mario é bonito, and we have here the verb ser, alright, then we should notice that Mario is really beautiful. I mean, he's beautiful maybe since he was born. But if we change the verb here to the verb estar, here with the third person singular conjugation, then the meaning is a bit different, because as I told you, with this sentence I can say that in that moment Mario is beautiful, but maybe he doesn't look beautiful all the time. So this is a transitory situation and this is a permanent situation, but both sentences would have the same translation into English, which would be Mario is beautiful. Do you get this? So we will also have some exercises in the exercise part of lesson 3. That will be our next video, but I think this is the main idea I want you to understand, so we can go on. I think now it's important to give you the correct conjugation of the verb ser and the verb estar. So I should notice that Brazilians usually don't use the person tu, the second person singular, to refer to you. But in some regions in Brazil, people use tu, but in a incorrect way, along with the verb that should be used for the person você. For example, if you read Brazilian grammar books, Portuguese grammar books that are taught in schools here, you will see the following conjugation for the verb ser, which would be the traditional and complete conjugation. So we have here, let's get the pronouns I review from last class. So eu, tu, ele or ela, nós, vós, and eles or elas. So in that sense, let's conjugate the verb ser. Eu sou, tu és, ele, ela, or we use você, é, nós somos, vós sois, and eles, elas, or vocês são. So the thing is, vós is rarely used, and tu is usually used with the verb conjugation of the third person singular in an incorrect spoken way. But for a better comprehension, it's good to separate what's singular from the plural versions. And here, so the most common uses would be here eu with eu sou, I am, ele, ela, or você when you refer to the person with whom you're talking. Instead of tu, you use ele, ela, você, é. Then we have nós somos, we are. Then we don't usually use the second person plural, but then we have eles, elas, vocês são, or other plural words. That's okay. Is that okay? We will have some simple exercise next week, but just to exercise a little bit now, we have, for example, eu sou feliz. Which means I am happy. Or we can say ela é americana. She is American. Alright? Now let's go to the verb estar, just using the first, third, and the pronoun você, alright? So here in singular we have eu, then we will go to ele or ela, and você. Then, in the plural version, the first person, nós, and then eles or elas or vocês. So in this case, I just omitted the second person because, as I told you, it's not usually used. So I wanted to simplify this situation to you. But in our PDF material of lesson 3, you will have the complete pronoun and verb conjugation. Alright? So for example here, let's go on with the verb estar. Eu estou. Ele, ela, você está. Nós estamos. And then eles, elas, or vocês Estão. Alright, then we can give you some examples here. Eu estou doente. So I am sick. And then, for example, nós estamos com fome. So we are hungry. Alright? Let's go on. So some important notes here. You should notice that when referring to a place that a person is located, the verb estar must be used. And when referring to a place that a person is from, the verb ser is used. For example, eu estou em São Paulo. So in this case, we should notice that the verb estar is used because the person is currently located in São Paulo. Alright? But if we say that eu sou de, so that's pretty much with the verb ser, we indicate that the person is actually from São Paulo, not that she is currently in São Paulo necessarily. Alright, this gives a more concrete and permanent sense of being part of the city, coming from this place. Alright. And a second important note for nationalities and professions, we use the verb ser, for example. Eu sou médico. Here we have I am a doctor. And then, for example, eu sou eu sou americano. This means I am American. Alright. Of course, we have the feminine versions. We will have a special lesson for that, just for you to remember. So, I am a doctor and I am American. Alright? I think this is pretty much the most important aspects of the verb ser and verb estar. And as I told you, both have an English translation of the verb to be. So we should notice that by practicing those two verbs, you will get a pretty great idea of how to work with both. Then you will not commit mistakes when translating those words. Alright? That's pretty much it. Thank you for watching this first part of lesson 3. We will continue in our second video with some exercises, a cultural review, and some conversation topics. Thank you very much.